Okay.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Nkem's Pep Talk. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for visiting my channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and then support our channel. Today, we want to talk about the burial of Osinachi Nwachukwu, who passed on the 8th of April 2022. The burial had happened in Isiochi. It was such a sad moment. It was so sorrowful. The death of Osinachi was such a death that we may say would have been avoided. It was such an avoidable death, considering how she passed on, what led to her death. But anyway, as it is now, we're just like crying over a spilled milk. But we also know that the God of Osinachi said knows the best. And we give thanks to God for everything that he has done. So as it was a sad and gloomy day in Isiochi as they bury one of their illustrious daughters, a gospel singer, a songwriter, Osinachi Nwachukwu. Osinachi's burial was characterized by sorrowful cries from her family members, her friends, at her father's compound in Umunochi, Isiochi, Abia State. The gathering of the mourners was a heart-wrenching one. It seems to have brought back the bad memories of her death. Osinachi, whose death was announced on the 8th of April 2022, caused an unsettling dust on her immediate family and friends, who said she died from a prolonged domestic abuse by her husband, Peter Nwachukwu, which had led to her untimely death. Her burial rites was 4 days ceremony, which commenced on the 21st June 2022 with a praise night held in her honor at Michael Okpara Square in Enugu. From what we have gathered, Osinachi grew up in Enugu. That was where she started her early days. She schooled in Enugu. Her parents lived in Enugu. Her mother and her other siblings are still living there. So I believe it's also in order for her to be honored where she started her early days in life. And then on the 23rd June, a night of worship as part of her burial rites was performed in Abuja and was well attended by members of her church, Dunamis International, where she was the lead singer. Guys, you remember that Osinachi was a lead singer in Dunamis Church before her death. So it was also good. They did a night of praise in her honor to pay her last respect. So that happened on the 23rd June of last month. Then on the 24th June, prayer night was also organized in her honor at her hometown, Umunochi in Isiochi. That was done in her hometown, Umunochi in Isiochi. Then on the 25th, the late singer was laid in state in her father's compound in Isiochi and finally laid to rest. Watching her burial rites is still unbelievable to me. It's not what I would say, was exciting and then good to watch. Honestly, Osinachi's burial hit me personally because Osinachi was someone I used to listen to her song and enjoy her praise and worship. Her praise and worship was so full of God's presence. Her praise song is such that makes you get connected to God. I believe it carries so much power you know. And then there was something that happened. There's a foundation that was established in our honor, the Osinachi Nwachukwu Foundation, to keep our legacy. That was so commendable. I'm so happy to hear that they actually set up this foundation in her name in order to honor her legacy, you know. So the foundation certificate was presented to the family by Nkiru Onyejocha. Nkiru Onyejocha is a member of the House of Representatives for Isikwato Umunochi Federal Constituency of Abia State. Mrs. Onyejocha equally represented the Minister for Women Affairs and Social Development, Pauline Tallinn, at the burial. The foundation was set to design to support young people, especially women, in entrepreneurship skills. That's so commendable. I'm really grateful that such a foundation was set up to honor Osinachi. I'm so grateful for that. Then we now know that until her death, the 42-year-old songwriter and singer featured in several gospel songs like Narekele by Pastor Paul Eneche of Dunamis Church. That was where she was the lead singer. They did a song, Narekele Mo. Narotitomo. It was a hit song. I really love that song. That song was hit, you know, and that song was so, it will bless your soul. I love that song. And then you know They Carry Me Play by Emma. Osinachi was shot into the limelight with the hit song Ekweme. We all know Ekweme. If you have not heard Ekweme, please right now Google Ekweme, and then you will hear the song and you will be blessed. Osinachi did a marvelous job there, you know. Ekwueme, ekwueme, ihe kwuru ka ị ga-eme. You know, now that I'm even singing, I see the goosebumps. You can imagine such a song that the song had more than 74 million views on YouTube, to tell you how popular that song was. That song was done in 2017. You can imagine, from that till now, that song has been on, timeless. Everybody wants to watch it. Ekwueme, ekwueme, nani hikuru kigeme. The song, it will bless your soul. Go ahead and watch the song and you'll be blessed. May the soul of Osinachi rest in perfect peace. While the famous Ekweme singer had been laid to rest, the late singer's husband, who also doubled as her manager, was visibly absent. The husband, Peter Nwachukwu, did not attend. And we may know why. His trial has been going on. He has been on trial in High Court Abuja on a 23rd count charge bordering on domestic violence and homicide instituted against him. So he couldn't attend. He's in custody. His case has not been determined. We don't know his fate, you know. Well, no one can question God's way. God is ever faithful. Now Osinachi has left promising young children, and on the other hand, the father is standing trial, which will determine his fate, whether he will get a life sentence if he found guilty, or if he will eventually get a death sentence. Nobody knows for now. But honestly, my concern is more on the children. What is the fate of these children? In whose custody will these children be? Who will take care of them? I'm personally concerned about them, because these innocent children, they are the victims at the end of the day. They didn't choose to be born by Osinachi and Peter, but they found themselves in the middle of it. So they shouldn't be allowed to be the victims of this irresponsibility, if I may put it that way. But well, it's hard to determine for now. Who knows what will happen next? So guys, thank you for watching. If you have come this far, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. Bye for now.